The parents of the teen suspect accused of killing 4 students after opening fire inside a Michigan high school earlier this week are now facing involuntary manslaughter charges as prosecutors on Friday revealed text messages alleging sent to their son before and after the attack. James and Jennifer Crumbley are facing 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. According to Oakland County Prosecutor Karen McDonald, their son, 15-year-old Ethan Crumbley, allegedly fired at least 30 rounds in the hallways of Oxford High School on Tuesday, killing 4 classmates and injuring 7 others, including a teacher. While the shooter was the one who entered this high school and pulled the trigger, there are other individuals who contributed to the events on November 30th. It's my intention to hold them accountable. Here goes the post he made, Ethan Crumbley. Just got my new beauty today. 6 hour, 9mm. Ask any questions, I will answer. He's 15. He is 15. That's not a problem, though. Remember, it's 2A. 2A. Guns don't kill people. People kill people with guns.
21, a teacher at the Oxford High School observed Ethan Crumbley searching ammunition on his cell phone during class and reported the same to school officials. Jennifer Crumbley was contacted via voicemail by school personnel regarding that son's inappropriate internet search. School personnel indicate they followed that voicemail up with an email but received no response from either parent. Thereafter, Jennifer Crumbley exchanged text messages about the incident with her son on that day, stating, quote, LOL, I'm not mad at you. You have to learn not to get caught, end quote.
This young man, Ethan Crumbley, he gets a gun. Black Friday, his parents buy him a gun. He shows the gun on social media. Hey, my parents got me a 9mm, y'all. On something. The next day, after he posted that on social media, mom posted on social media, mom and Sunday testing out his new Christmas present. So they bought it for him early, an early Christmas present, because it ain't Christmas yet. In the week before the shooting on November 21st, McDonald said a teacher at Oxford High School noticed that Ethan, searching for ammunition on his cell phone during class, reported the incident to administrators. Teachers doing what it's supposed to do. His mother then was contacted by phone and email, but the school never heard back from her. Instead, she added, Jennifer exchanged text messages with her son about the incidents, one of which said, LOL, I'm not mad at you. You have to learn not to get caught. Then, now let me get back on the screen because this is even worse, folks. Then on the morning of the shooting, everyone's still alive. No one's wounded. Before the incident occurred, Ethan's teacher noticed an alarming note on the desk that contained drawings of a semi-automatic handgun, a bullet, and a person being shot twice with the phrases, "The thoughts won't stop. Help me." Blood everywhere. My life is useless. And the world is dead. Written throughout the drawing. The prosecutor said Ethan and his parents were immediately summoned to a meeting, during which they were told they were required to get their son into counseling within 48 hours. At the meeting, the parents were shown Ethan's drawing, but portions of it were scratched out by Ethan himself, such as the drawing of the gun and the bloody figure, McDonald said. She noted that the parents resisted the idea of their son leaving school and departed the building without him. They did not take this little boy home. He's fine. So what he searches for ammunition? So what he's talking about killing people? So what he said life is hopeless, worthless, blood everywhere. They know he has a gun. Remember, they know something that the school did not know at the time. He had a gun. They knew he had a gun, Johnson. See, when I hear people talk, I know when we hear people talk about this on Facebook, for instance, and they're going to be defending this. They're going to be defending the parents, comparing it all types of apples to grapefruits and apples to pizza and apples to donuts comparisons. Any black person, any black child with a gun at all, they're going to pull that story out of their asses and compare it to this and say, we need to go get those parents too. These parents knew this child had a gun. Oh, let me back up. If you can show me a story of a black family, okay, this is where they get it twisted. Unlike you, I want crime to stop in the black community. I actually want that. I don't just use it as a buzzword in order to inflict pain or to punch back at black people who point out that white people are white terrorism and domestic terrorism of white people. So unlike you, I actually want to end violence in the neighborhoods, in schools, in inner city schools. I actually want that. So if there is a black mother or father that are turning a blind eye to a gun that they bought for their son, who is now drawing pictures of death and carnage, they could be put up on charges too. That make you feel better? Because, see, unlike you, it's not for me to score points. I actually want things to become better. So it's not a gotcha. But what they're gonna do is they're gonna compare, once again, apples to barbecue sandwiches to barbecue chicken. Apples to Impossible Burgers, and make it the same thing, and then they're going to somehow bring up OJ. Defending this motherfucker. Not just him. When I say motherfucker, I'm really talking about the parents here. The parents knew what the teachers did not know. The parents knew that the young man, this child, had a gun in his possession, and he's talking like this. He's drawing this. This is textbook, get him out of here. They left the school without him. He then returned to the classroom, and hours later, he drew the weapon from his backpack. He had the gun with him at school, was planning to kill everybody that day. He was going to do that. They could have stopped this young man from killing 4 innocent people, wounding several others. They chose not to. So when you are defending these parents going, oh, these poor parents can't help, these kids are so bad nowadays, know the story. Please take time to know the story. Don't get caught up looking like an idiot. Don't get caught up looking like an idiot. You know, we always got occasional dumbasses who want to jump and die on the hill. Don't do it. Know the facts. This is not about philosophy of parenting. This is not about the different flavors of the way people want to handle their business at home with their children. This is about responsibility. This is about negligence, harmful, dangerous negligence. If you buy your child a gun and that child takes that gun and kills people, you're responsible for that. I don't care what color you are. I don't want you killing my brothers and sisters. I don't want your deranged, unhinged child killing the kids of my viewers, man. No. Of my 10 Black Wolfpack, regardless of what color, what kind of comb you use or brush you use. If you like, if you like power or if you like Sex in the City, I don't really care. That's not important to me. But I just want this to be clear. This is crazy because I'm reading the Fox News version, and they done threw this all up under the bus. All up under the bus. So I'm gonna leave it there as far as the coverage of it. And what I want to go to is say, what do you think about this story? What do you think about Ethan Crumbley? What do you think about the culpability of the parents? I'm assuming most people are going to agree with my opinion of this, that those parents need to be charged. I'm glad they were charged. And what do you think about the precedents this sets? And once again, folks, everyone gets their time in court, right? Get your time to go to court. And I'm not saying just because your child does something, you're automatically responsible for it. But when you help them do something that's illegal, which is purchase a firearm, you buy a gun for them. You do not secure the gun for them. We know that's serious business, buying someone a gun. You take them out shooting with the gun. You tell them shit like, oh, you messed up, you got caught. You're supposed to not get caught with it. Don't get caught with it. The teachers call you up to the school and say, hey, your son has problems. Take him home. Take him, get him to a counselor in 48 hours. You blow them off, you leave. The child stays that day and kills 4 people. That right there, so that's not every incident of a child doing something and saying we're going to lock the parents up. So I want to make sure people know there's a distinction. There's a distinct difference between your child doing something without your knowledge. You ain't got nothing to do with it. You know, you let him close the bedroom door and you had no idea he was making bombs. And I'm only half joking, but you know what I'm saying. And you had no idea. These parents had a perfectly good idea about what their son was doing, what he was into. They may not have known the psychological issues that he had, but they could have mitigated. They could have prevented this just by taking their child home that day. Just by taking him home. I wonder if Rashad Johnson, little Rashad Johnson with an afro out to here, with some skinny jeans on. If he had pictures of guns on his Instagram, come on, you know where I'm going. I wonder if little Rashad had drawings of shooting up the school, shooting up students. If the teachers would have just said you need to take him home, or would they just kicked his ass out, called the police, and assisted him out the door. I got the feeling that they would have assisted his ass out of the door. You let me know what you think. See, we live in different Americas. We're not in the same America. America's different for us than it is for the Crumbleys. Sometimes that works for them. That's great for them. But sometimes it leads to 4 people getting killed for no damn reason and 7 others shot. That's what that leads to. It leads to black kids being overly policed, overly criminalized. And we end up with this at the school. So I want people to also think about this. When you call up tonight, if you talk about this story, I want you to consider this. Now, I was saving this, but I'm feeling kind of like organic to the conversation, right? A 2019 study of 11,000 police stops over about 4 weeks in the district found that while black people make up 46% of the city's population, they account for 70% of police stops and 86% of stops that didn't involve traffic enforcement. Black people are over-policed. So it's not crazy for me to say. See, people love to say, you're race baiting. I can feel it right now. There are Iraq, well, probably not Iraq. They don't watch me that often. They get upset. Some hate watch and then send veiled death threats. But they love to say that you're race baiting when they love to say that I'm race baiting when I say, if Ethan Crumbley was Rashad Johnson, blah, 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 would they have done the same thing? I think they would have kicked him out of school, called the police. Kicked him out of school and called the police. They say that's race baiting. I just present you with a statistic of over-policing as it pertains to black and white people. This is the reason why I say that, because we are automatically criminalized. Our skin color is probable cause. Add in guns in an Instagram photo. Add in drawing pictures of killing people. Add in life is no good. Everyone's going to die. Blood everywhere. Kill, kill, kill. Like, these are things that will make the teachers leave the school. They would run. They would have these white teachers running out of the school. If Rashad drew that and they didn't take Rashad out, I don't think the teachers or the administrators would have been able to go back to working after seeing this. I think they would have left. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you, we get treated differently.
Ms. Cassandra Krafasi. She's the deputy director of Johns Hopkins Center for Gun Violence and Research. It's a direct quote. It's exceptionally unusual. We rarely hold people accountable for giving someone a gun who shouldn't have one.
You blow it off, you leave, he kills people. Is that so far-fetched, man? Are you just defending any old bullshit just to save your goddamn gun laws, man? Like, this is horrible shit. Can we at least attempt to put ourselves in the place of the parents who just lost 4 kids? Can we do that just a minute before you go protecting your sanctified gun laws, your gun rights? Can we just for a second say, it would really suck to be the parents of a child who went to school that day and did not come home because these motherfuckers did not take their child with them, who, by the way, had the gun in their backpack at the time when the school made them come up to the school. If they would have just looked in the fucking backpack, I'm not saying every parent is responsible for everything a child does. Of course not. But I told you, based on the information that I have, based on what I'm reading, man, at the end of the day, if these parents could have prevented this killing, I think it's good. I think it's damn good that they be held accountable, if for no other reason than to deter motherfuckers in the future from just turning a blind eye to what their children do. The way I read it, it says, if the authorities believe someone contributed to a situation where there was a high chance of harm or death. Now, brothers and sisters get hit with this all the fucking time. I wonder how often our friend Lamont cries a river about it. Yeah, you could be hanging out with some people, and some shit go down and you in the car, or you drove, or you were, you gave the, I don't know, somehow you are there. You are there in the place. Everyone gets this charge for even being involved at all. You didn't intend to do it. You want the person who did it. This charge looks to me like a very blanket charge people get for just being associated with an individual that commits a dangerous act, and you had knowledge that they were capable of the act, or if it has here, if you somehow contributed to the situation. So they're saying, I don't know that now. I don't know exactly what the indictment is, right? This doesn't go into everything. This is a charge. But, I'm assuming there's more charges. I think there's more than one charge. Anyway, I'm going to go to the next call, guys. I'm talking enough. I'm good to go. Let's see what the people got to say. Just another factoid. 908, you're alive. 908, what's your name? What's your comment?
Hey there, Tim Black. It's Nate from New Jersey. Been a long time.
Nate from Jersey. What's up, Nate? What's going on?
Yeah. Well, I'm tired, man. I'm tired of having to say it again. We have to say the same thing over and over again. If the shooter was black, blah, 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 right? If the shooter was black, I don't know what the school rules are. I don't know what the rules are in that town, in that district, in that municipality. They'd have found a way to look in that damn bag. They'd have looked in the bag. They'd have searched his locker. They'd have searched the gym locker. They'd have searched all his friends' bags. They'd have searched everything. Okay, so that's the first thing that just rubs me raw about this whole thing. The other thing is, you see that picture they showed of him, that little kitty picture they showed. Okay, if he was black, the picture they'd be showing on the news would be his mugshot, and that's if they didn't shoot him dead at the school. If he was dead, they'd have found the worst picture they could have found of him. One Halloween where he was posing in some thug pose with a fake gun or something. They'd have found something. They'd have found the worst picture they could find to put on the news. This kid, they'd show him, like as a 9-year-old, praying or something. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Okay.
And thank you for bringing it back to something I said originally in my monologue when I first addressed the story, which was that this was a black kid. I tapped it on the end, but we said it was a black kid. Rashad Johnson was his name. And if there was pictures of him shooting at people in the school, and they had the parent come up to the school, somebody would have grabbed that kid up, and you're right, they want to search his book bag. Incident thwarted.
And what has happened with this young man, Crumbley, has caused actually like a spirit of terrorism now here in our Detroit, in the Detroit public school system. And so what this young man did, Mr. Black, his parents should be held accountable. If those people were black, I'm going to tell you how this would have happened here in the state of Michigan. When the parents got called, the parents would have gotten a call and said that Rashard was shot and killed at school, and this would have happened before the parents would have even got a call. That's how it go here with the black folks. And see, it's a lot of stuff here in our city that people don't know about, that people don't hear about. And so now we have our children here in our city, and I'm very upset. I'm grown. My kids grown. I got grandkids now. We have kids now in these schools, in the schools, that are afraid. And you never hear about these kind of shootings going on in the city of Detroit in our black schools. Do you know why? Because you can't get a gun into the school, because you can't walk through the door without going through a metal detector. You can't walk into the school without having a security guard there that's going to tell you to lift your hands and to spin around and turn around so that they can scan your bag and scan you before you go into the building.
Hello?
But see, that don't happen out in the suburbs. We have these homegrown terrorists in our cities that they refuse to call it what it is, because now the children are terrorized. So that's all I wanted to say. I'm just excited about being on your show, Mr. Black. And I promise you the next time we come on, my husband will probably be on. But just like I started this conversation, it is time to cut the check.
Most news shows are suspect. They don't focus on black issues, and when they do, it's all fluff. How does that help your life? How does that help your family? How does that help the culture? They don't. The Tim Black Show is different. Tim Black gives you news for people who can't stand the news. Real, authentic, researched, entertaining, on point. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. Visit www.timblacktv.com today. Get black breaking news, politics, culture from someone you can trust. timblacktv.com. Join us today.